All right, so continuation of this. Notice that when I put the background and the eyes and all of that as new layers on here, it added them to all of our frames at the bottom. So they're automatically turned on for everything. So that's great that you can, change and add the background later. I'm gonna just give a little more flair to our background, putting some stripes in. Unnecessary, but just trying to make this look kind of cool, even though it's just a mouse drawn illustration. All right, and so the next thing that we're going to do is do some frame by frame animation, drawing frame by frame to see how something can change over time. I am going to animate these eyeballs. I'm going to work with black, and again, I've got my texture brush. And so I think I'm going to name this layer 1, and we can reorganize later. But I'm going to make it look like, and I'll zoom in a little bit, my eye is looking back and forth. So I'm just going to fill in a little eye for both. And then I'm going to make a new layer, which I will rename 2. You could rename after as well. You don't have to do it as you go. My number 1 layer, I'm going to reduce the opacity a little bit so I can see that, because in my next layer, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to draw the eye a little bit over, like it's shifting slowly to the left. And it's helpful to see the previous layer so you can know where you've been. So I'm going to lower the opacity on layer 2, make a new layer, call it 3. And again, I'm going to move my eye a little bit more. And this one, I feel like I'd see it sort of in the middle. And maybe you see the whole circle of it. And I'm going to lower my opacity again. And again, this is kind of like emulating an onion skin. Classical animation. Let's see, drawing the next one, and I didn't change the name. I'll change it now to 4, lower the opacity, and I'll do one more. 5, we'll have 5. I think 5 is enough to get us to the other side of our eye. And so now we're looking at the corner of the eye there. Okay, so I'm going to select the top one, hold shift, select the bottom, and just put opacity at 100. Usually that works. Okay, now they're all at 100 and they look kind of wacky. So I'm going to turn off 1 through 5 so I just have the first one. I'm also going to group these because it's helpful for me to group. So I'm going to select the first layer, and then hold shift, select the 5th layer, go to the hamburger menu, choose new group from layers, and I'll call this eye. So I've got my layers that basically sort of stay in place there, outside of groups, and then the groups that I use my grouping to notice, like, these are the stages of the animation. These are the different layers that I will turn on and off to make movement happen. All right, so let's animate these eyes here. I'm going to go down again to my timeline, and so on my first frame, I like it as is. I'm going to toggle open the eye group so I can see all these layers. I'm going to click on the second frame, and I'm going to turn off the first layer of my eye and put on the second layer. I'll do the same for the third. Turn off that one, turn on number 3. 4, turn on number 4, turn off the first one. Turn off the first one, turn on number 5. I think, am I at 5 already? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I need to turn off 4. So we've got, if I look back at my frames, it's shifting like this. And I think I might keep it there one more time. And then the next frame, I'm going to go backwards. So now I'm going to do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And, oh, I guess 1. Yeah, there we go, 1. So let's see how that looks. You can always, if you have an extra layer turned off or turned on, you can always just go through each frame and turn them on or off. Okay, so let's push play and see how that looks. Oh, we got some shifty eyes back and forth. And if I wanted it to maybe hold there a minute, I could add a couple more frames. It'll hold that, but then maybe I want to animate. You don't have to do this part, but maybe I want to go through that rotation of my text change again, just to keep all that moving. Okay, so let's see. Cute. There's some shifty eyes. All right. So that's really the basics of how I do something frame by frame. We can add a few more things just so you can sort of see how you could, other ways you can play with this.